Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we had another stream, and so let's go over some of the reveals we saw today. New little announcement, I released a Cardfight Vanguard course on ZeroDamageGaming.com. This is a paid course that goes over a lot of the knowledge I have been acquiring over the past years when it comes to competitive Vanguard. I currently have 18 major event tops and 2 World Championships qualifications. I also plan for it to gradually evolve, so if there are certain things you feel like you still want to see in the course, hit me up. I would love to further expand it. So far it's quite big already, but I want it to be even bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, once you buy, you keep on having access to it. Link is in the description. Use the code Solemn for a discount and I'll see you there. So for the reveals, we have 2 parts to this. We essentially have Bastion support, and then we have like a reveal type of thing when it comes to Messiah. We start off with this grade 1 that's not that amazing. It has an auto when this unit is put on G. If you have a Vanguard with Bastion in its card name, choose any number of your grade 3 or greater rear guards, move them to G, and all of the moved units get shield +5 until end of that battle. Generally, it isn't worth it for you to turn your strong grade 3 rear guards, into just 5k shield, but it is a common, so it's not, that surprising that this thing isn't insane. Next, we have this grade 3, which is a double R. It says auto on R. When this unit's attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Bastion in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you reveal the card and this unit is in the back row, retire this unit. I'm not sure how much I like this, because if you are on your grade 4 already, adding more of it doesn't really do much, and grade 3 is not really a big thing anymore. Though finding that grade 4 can be crucial, but is checking top 7 enough then? It's like, alright, it might see some play for consistency buffs, but I'm not like hyper convinced about this card just yet. Next, we have this grade 3 that basically attempts to replace Darkstrain. It's an act on rearguard circle. If you have a Vanguard with Bastion in its card name, you retire this, and then you give that Bastion the skill that all of your grade 3 rearguards gain boost. So this is kind of like a turn-wide Darkstrain, but then it's only for that turn. Now it has the second skill where you can Soul Blast it out of Soul and then give another rearguard boost again. So first, it'll be like board wide, but then after that, it'll be just 1. And we just got Darkstrain back, so I'm like, do you really want to play this over that? Maybe? I don't think so, personally. This kind of reminds me of the order we had in Bastion that improved like the boosting and so forth, and people were pretty hyped about that for a second, and then eventually they went back to Darkstrain anyway. So we'll see. This card is kind of somewhere in the middle between those two, where it has like that lingering effect, but still you lose a body for it, but then afterwards it gives you a part of that lingering effect again. So again, somewhere in the middle. We'll see if people like that. I'm personally like not super hyped for this card necessarily, but might be wrong. And then for the Stride deck set, we have the new Messiah right here, and it's basically just the art. We see Excelix, which is really weird because if you know about Messiah, Amnesty was actually the first Stride we really got for that. If you're thinking back to like Gear Chronicle, them getting Next Stage was their first big GR, Amnesty was Messiah's first big GR, but here it seems like we skipped that to go straight for Excelix. Now that doesn't mean there's no Amnesty still in this set, like maybe there is, I don't know, I haven't seen the contents just yet, but art-wise, Excelix does look absolutely gorgeous. Another thing we saw was the playmat for the Stride deck set in Japan. Now we haven't had like a Stride deck set in English yet, so I don't know like exactly what to expect and what's being promised. I know there's like a premium version as well that has like extra fancy stuff and so forth. I'm guessing we're gonna have like really solid, visual confirmation once we get the Chronojet one here, which is probably gonna be tier 1 and very strong. So if you still need Stride deck sets, 50cards.shop, use the code Solemn in the description. But I am pretty hyped for these. Again, we all know I'm a G fanboy, so I'm hoping we might get a Nitros one someday. And there's also this like leather deck box, which I really like. I feel like Vanguard doesn't really have many nice deck boxes. Like obviously I always use Dragon Shield deck boxes, I like their quality, but in terms of like visually really pleasing deck boxes, it's pretty scarce. This is what the premium box looks like, by the way, for anyone wondering. And then for set 9, we also see some stuff like some sleeves and so forth. Personally, I'm very excited for like the white-haired girl, and then of course the fox thing, because I'm hoping it's like Great Nature related. that. Now, there was one more thing, and I can't find like pictures of it anymore, but it happened during the stream, and I found it extremely interesting, and I'm so sad I don't have pictures. But basically, they had like this massive tournament circuit type deal. It was called Vanguard Deluxe in Japan, and the winners apparently got like their own playmats and like an over trigger with their logo on it or something like that, like the team logo or whatever. That is mind-blowing. It is wild to me that we don't have that for English yet. Like, that would be so cool. Can you imagine, like, you do well at Worlds or something, and you just get an over trigger, or please, a staple that isn't bannable, with like your name or your team name or whatever you want on there. Nothing sexual on there, not whatever you want, you know, some limitations. But how sick is that? That's like the sickest flex. Same thing with like a playmat or something like that. So they had that in some Japanese circuit. Was it Nationals? I don't really know the specifics. And that's just so cool. I'm kind of looking forward to Bushiroad basically experimenting more with things like that. But yeah, we'll see what comes from that. So that is all. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you need any cards, go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn. If you need any playmats, go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code Solemn. And if you're interested in my Vanguard course, go to zerodamagegaming.com. Links will all be in the description. And of course, use the code Solemn. It's basically always the code Solemn. I will see you soon. Ciao.